The coronavirus has put a significant dent in the economy, leaving many people anxious over their financial futures. According to new research conducted by Northwestern Mutual, more American adults are actually saving during the pandemic. It's part of an effort to protect themselves financially during this unprecedented time. But of course, that is not the case for everyone. For more, I want to bring in Chantel Bonneau Stewart. She is a wealth management advisor with Northwestern Mutual, and she joins us from San Diego. Chantel, thank you so much for being with us. So, what are some of the biggest reasons people are concerned right now about their financial well-being?
Right now is really a sensitive time for so many people because they have the opportunity to really think about their financial choices and how it impacts them. Their emergency funds have been tested, and whether they have been specifically impacted or not, they know somebody who has, and it makes all of this financial security and financial planning seem really real right now.
So the study we referenced found that 49% of Americans do not have great clarity on exactly how much they can afford to spend now versus how much they should be saving for later. So how much money do people have in savings on average, and how can they save more efficiently?
Yeah, you're right. There are so many people that are really unclear on how much they can afford to spend, how much they need to save. There's really so much ambiguity for people. And like I always say, uncertainty leads to almost guaranteed anxiety. And so what we've noticed from our 2020 Planning and Progress study is that the average American has about $65,000 in savings. Now, of course, that's the average American. So there are people that don't have enough to get through an emergency that happens today, and there's other people that have a lot more. So we've seen the savings rate actually go up tremendously over this time for the majority of people, which has really padded the average savings account, which is very exciting from a financial planning standpoint.
That is exciting. Now, there are, of course, certain household expenses that are non-negotiable, correct? Like food or utilities. You know, managing rising food costs and fluctuating bills can also be challenging. I mean, we've seen so many utility bills go up as people work from home. Their electric bills are surprisingly high, their internet bills, a lot of stuff that they weren't anticipating. You know, so how do you suggest that someone trims the fat from their monthly budget without removing those necessary items needed to live?
Yeah, there's things, like you said, rising food costs are real, and especially if you're on a very tight budget, the thought of your food costs going up 5 or 10 or 15% is really challenging. And like you saw in one of the other numbers that you put up on the screen, medical expenses is a big concern for people too. So I always tell people, first and foremost, know the score. And that means take the time to actually go through and divide up your cash flow based on fixed, right, including things like food, maybe padding for some potential rising costs, food, rent, mortgage, car, insurance, etc. Then look at all of your reducible or discretionary expenses and try and think about what you actually spend there and identify, first of all, if there's anything that can go. Many people through COVID-19 have discovered that there's certain things they were paying for that are just not that important to them anymore. Perhaps not needing to go get your nails done every 2 weeks, or maybe they've realized that they enjoy cooking at home and can reduce some of the dining out costs or grabbing the coffee every morning. So now is a good opportunity to evaluate your current budget. That's tip number one, know the score and see if there's anything you can cut out. Number two, of course, is if you have big expenses coming up like rent or perhaps refinancing your mortgage in a low interest rate environment, or maybe you don't need the same car because you're not going to commute as much, this is a really good opportunity to decide if you want to renew those big ticket items in the same way next year.
All right, Chantel Bonneau Stewart, thank you so much for your time. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.